what's up everyone? This is Eddie from Average Joe Drinks.
And I'm Vince, and we're here to make drinks suitable for the average Joe. Just like my dad intended when he spent the bulk of his life collecting drink recipes, we're going to talk about some now.
So yeah, we've done, I counted up, we've done 92 different recipes.
So far.
So far. And we've made 58 full episodes.
So far.
Much more to come. So we figure at this point, let's go ahead and look back at all the recipes we've made and determine what are some of our favorites.
So far.
So far, exactly. We do have a top 5.
Yes, we have a top 5.
And we decided that it probably wouldn't be a good idea for us to make 10 drinks and drink them.
Because the state of health insurance in this country is such that drinking 20 cocktails...
Too much.
Yeah.
Not good. Plus, we probably wouldn't, by the time we got to 1 and 2, we'd have no idea what we were talking about. And they would just taste amazing no matter what. So
what we were drinking.
What is this? I don't know.
Awesome.
Okay, Vince, without further ado, best cocktails 2018. Number 5. For me, this was an interesting choice because this was the first time I ever made and tasted a cocktail that uses eggs. And that is a whiskey sour. And this was a drink, I know a lot of people, in college when they have a whiskey sour, it's made with, kind of cheap sweet and sour mix.
Because that's all you can afford in college.
That's exactly right. Cheap whiskey or bourbon, depending on what you use. I like both.
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, exactly.
It's like the go-to in college.
Jack Daniels and cheap sweet and sour mix. But if you make it right, you put quality ingredients in there and you take the time, it really, really is a tasty cocktail. So that is my number 5 of the best cocktails of 2018.
Okay, so for me, top cocktails of 2018, number 5 again. Is actually kind of a standby. A lot of people make it, a lot of people use it. My number 5 top cocktail for 2018 is a sangria. It was actually our very first episode. Eddie and I did some dry runs before we did our first episode, so we made multiple versions of the sangria.
Yeah.
The one that we did came out really good.
Oh yeah.
And again, I don't know if you saw the video, you should, just click on it right here. They get better with time. So make your sangria like a day or 2 ahead of time and wait until you're ready to serve it, put your carbonation in, and that will be probably in your top 5 too. So.
But how long? Because you said let it sit for a few days, but what's too long? Is it
as soon as the fruit starts to mold and grow beard and stuff like that, stop drinking. It's an alcohol, so it's gonna. By that time, it's really bad.
See, that's a good tip. Anytime your food grows a beard, don't eat it.
Right.
Or drink it. So,
drinks you can chew.
Drinks you can chew, part 6, whatever one we're on. So, best cocktails 2018, number 4 for me. Was actually, it's kind of an interesting one for me because we made a series of cocktails with energy drinks called our hacker cocktails. And believe it or not, one of my top 5 was in there, and that's what I call the SQL Slammer. This is a take off of an Alabama Slammer, but instead of using orange juice, use Orange Crème Rockstar. And SQL SQL Slammer was a... Yes, SQL. It was a worm that happened that was pretty big, but we don't need to talk about that. But it really, really is a very tasty cocktail. So, best cocktails 2018, number 4, SQL Slammer.
And it's interesting you said that because a lot of the ones that you made were on my list too. In fact, one of the things that I think you'll get a kick out of as you go through this list is you'll realize a lot of these are originals. We talk about all these drink recipes we have, but...
they inspire us. The recipes do inspire us to do new things and be creative. It's great.
So for me, we're going back to top cocktails of 2018. My number 4 top cocktail for 2018 was our Mojito. Now that might seem like a very basic thing, but it was hard to get a good recipe in the first place.
To get it right, exactly.
And once we got it right, we drank a lot of them. We did. Lisa and I, that was like our evening drink for a while. And we started playing with them. We got the raspberry mojitos, we did the virgin mojitos, and it was just a drink that we had a lot of fun with.
Ginger one too, yeah.
Yeah, the ginger mojito. Yep. And our recipe is just really, really good.
Yeah.
So our mojito recipe is my number 4 top cocktail for 2018.
And that's one thing that's a great point because I notice a lot of the recipes we do, they spawn off other recipes, kind of like making versions of like our, I know Moscow Mule, we got a cranberry Moscow Mule, and there's other drinks that we did that kind of just branched off into these more great tasting drinks.
one more thing I want to say too is like a lot of times we'll have multiple recipes. We'll try multiple recipes. So you can go on the internet, you can Google Mojito, and you'll come up with something completely different. When we taste test most of our stuff, not always. I mean, he'll surprise me, I'll surprise him. But this isn't, you know, we just Google stuff and say, here's a recipe.
We're not throwing darts, right? Yeah.
So
Okay, my number 3 of best cocktails 2018 is another one that, this is actually one that Vince made. And this was really close to being in the top 2, was the...
top 3 is close.
I do good math. The honey margarita. If you have not yet tasted this, this is probably the best tasting margarita I've ever had. And I think it's cool because I don't know, that was original, wasn't it?
That was another original, yeah.
Another original recipe that you apparently spent a good deal of time on, because it was a very, very tasty drink. So, and it's one of those drinks where you kind of have to take your time to really get it mixed, especially with honey. Anytime honey's in liquid that's not hot, it's really kind of a challenge to kind of get it integrated, but it's worth it. Really, really good tasting cocktail. So my number 3 best cocktails 2018, honey margarita.
Well, I'm flattered that is one of your top ones. My next one is one you created.
I want to say before you do this, we came up with a list on our own and then got together to talk about them. So
Right.
just want to make sure to state that.
Yeah, there was no kickback.
I'm still waiting for mine.
So, top cocktails for 2018, my number 3 was your original Raspberry Russian.
Oh.
I enjoyed that. I think the ice was a big part of it. I even went so far as to buy ice cube trays, made some ice, hauled it over to the neighbor's house to show them that recipe. It's a pretty recipe to look at. It's a fun recipe to drink. It tastes good. I mean, it's a twist on a well-known drink. I mean,
Dude.
the Russians, yeah.
Yeah.
White Russians, Black Russians, Eddie's Raspberry Russian is my number 3 top cocktail of 2018.
All right, now we get into the ones where we actually have the cocktails. We made these 2. We figured we can drink a couple and
stay out of trouble. Stay out of the hospital.
see how the hospital goes. Probably good. So my number 2 best cocktails 2018 is an original, and actually my wife got me this recipe, and it became, for a long time, it was a staple in our household. It's our Christmas cocktail. And this one has cranberry juice, and it's one thing that's unique because it's the first cocktail I made that uses maple syrup. So, and I like bourbon. And I know some people, you know, they like scotch and other types of whiskey. They don't like bourbon because they think it's a little sweet. But I like the sweet smokiness. So for me, you really don't get much of the maple because there is bourbon in there. The smokiness kind of just combines together. But it is, without a doubt, one of the most refreshing cocktails I've had. And it is number 2 for me for best cocktails 2018. Cheers.
Slam it.
Later. I will put it over there for now.
Okay, so for me, number 2 was actually something that we came up with on very short notice because one of our friends in Tucson got drunk and was like, "Hey, you got to do something about this."
Love you, Susie.
So my number 2 top cocktail for 2018 is our Deep Eddy Lemonade. Super simple. We didn't know what to do. We just started trying stuff. This has got nothing more than Deep Eddy grapefruit vodka, raspberry lemonade, some fruit. People talk about it. They like it. Woo! See? And again, original, super simple, and that's part of my criteria. Just a drink that's really nice and refreshing.
It is, this one is actually refreshing, I promise.
Watch me get refreshing.
What? And this is one of those drinks that, are you refreshed?
I had to swallow, but now I am.
It's one of those that, part of your criteria about being kind of easy to make or simple to make is you can make a picture of this. It'd be great for a party.
Yeah, and that's true. It has to be scalable, like any good business.
Okay, for me, we're down to number 1.
Or up to.
Or up to. Number 1.
Sorry, had to.
No, you're good. Well, the numbers count down too, but either way.
See, I threw you off though.
The
That was
best
point.
one of the best cocktails of 2018, in my opinion, is a very simple cocktail, but it needs to be done right. And I got a funny look from my wife when she found out this was number 1, and that's okay. It's not a rum and coke, it's a Cuba Libre. And there's a couple things that I like about this that mine is a little different. One, it's important to treat your ice correctly. And yeah, what I say is like you want to...
Like, me too.
Me too. So, when you put your ice in, you want your lime juice to go in first because a lot of times the ice will kind of take on the first thing it touches. So put the lime juice in first. You want to roll them around. I microwave my limes to make sure that it gets all the oils out. This is the one time where I don't actually use a juicer. I'll actually squeeze in here because I want all the oils in here. I want the juice. And then I also use a dark spiced rum. So
It's interesting you say that too, because Lisa and I were on vacation and I got this hankering for a Cuba Libre. We were like off the coast of Cuba, and it was nothing like yours. It was actually kind of a letdown.
thank you.
And the truth, and that was very close to being on my list. So I'm kind of glad I didn't pick it because it would have sucked to have the same cocktail on there twice.
It would have, yes.
Especially since we're like unveiling now to each other as well.
The only thing take note also is we use Mexican Coke, and it's actually interesting because in our original Cuba Libre video, someone made a comment that said that Mexican Coke is no longer using cane sugar.
And it is still.
But I know that it's definitely used with sugar because I looked at the ingredients. If you look at the Coke here, it's corn syrup. If you look at Mexican Coke, it is sugar. Now,
They do
beet
make sugar
cane
from
sugar.
beets,
Yeah, I don't know. But I know it is made with sugar. And to me, that does make a difference. So for me, best cocktails 2018, Cuba Libre. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, Vince.
Okay, so I'm doing my number one top cocktail of 2018. This is actually a little bit more sophisticated of a drink. It's got something like 7 ingredients in it. The reason I picked it, we actually pulled it out of my dad's book for this show. And since then, it became a staple around here.
Mm-hmm.
We've drank more of those than we have mojitos. We take it to people's houses. I make pictures of it to go next door. So my number one top cocktail for 2018 is the Rum Runner. Kind of a bastard of a cocktail. It was come up with in a bar. They were trying to get rid of excess inventory. They threw in stuff that they couldn't sell. Blackberry liqueur. At the time, coconut rum wasn't selling really well. It's one of my favorites. Out of all the drinks we've shot, you said it was close to 100.
Yeah, 92 recipes, yep.
I've made more Rum Runners than anything else we've made.
Yeah, that is without a doubt one of my favorites too. That was like 6 or 7, so great tasting drink.
So there it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some.
That's our list. You know, we wanted to take the time to do this because I know a lot of you, you maybe depending on at what point in our journey you've kind of caught up with us. But for us coming to you and saying, hey, here's our top 5 or 10 drinks, because we've strangely enough chose different drinks, which is kind of cool.
Strange.
You are strange. So am I. That's okay. But now we can give you a list. And if you have not tried any of these, please
Do.
Yeah, try one of each. Let us know what you think.
At the same time.
But like a suicide. Like when you put all the sodas. No, don't do that. That would.
It's our challenge, the Average Joe Challenge.
That's the Average Joe Vince Challenge.
By the way, we are kidding because we really do need you to drink responsibly because that's alcohol poisoning waiting to happen.
If we have not made any drink that you would like to see, I mean, yes, we've made 92 recipes. Let us know.
We have over 11,000, so we're not running out.
We got plenty left to go. So if you have liked what you've seen today, we'd ask you to do a couple things. You're on YouTube, obviously watching this. Give it a like. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. And do not forget to hit that little bell. It will remind you when we upload any new videos. But if you missed that, we do have Catch Up Tuesday.
Yes, cocktail ketchup.
Cocktail Ketchup.
Toss Back Tuesday, where you can toss back old versions and probably kind of enjoy the fact that the show's getting better. Production quality's going up as he goes along. I mean, he's really getting good at this. We have a blog, Average Joe Drinks. We occasionally do other social media things.
We do.
You snap and chat and tweet.
I'm a twit. No, it's different.
Twitter stuff. Facebook, mentioned. On Tuesdays, we're doing that. We have stuff on there. I try to get on there every day.
Daily, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Make a joke, come up with a little video, just try to keep you entertained. It's fun for me. And we want you to drink responsibly.
Please do.
And we want to thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.